Welcome back, everyone. So March is National Colorectal Cancer Awareness Month. And with us today are two people who have made it there. Oh, sorry, we have one person. I'm sorry to change that in the script, but yes, someone, Eric, was sick today. So we just have Pat here, who's made it her mission to do whatever they can do to make the public aware of the serious risks of colorectal cancer and the epidemic rise of the disease in people under the age of 50. So good morning.
Good morning. And thank you so much for having me here today.
Yeah, absolutely.
Unfortunately, my sidekick is home recovering, but it's so important for Live Like Rach and our fund to be able to share Rachel's story.
Yeah, absolutely.
And explain just what it is that the fund does. When Rach was sick, she was diagnosed at the age of 33 with early onset colorectal cancer and misdiagnosed because she was so young.
Really?
With symptoms that can be misdiagnosed because they're symptoms of a lot of other things. So she was diagnosed at 33 and passed away when she was 36. And just before she died, she asked that we make certain that this didn't happen to anyone else. So the best thing that we thought we could do would be to start a fund and to raise awareness of the signs and symptoms and the risks associated with colorectal cancer, especially early onset colorectal cancer. And what early onset means is that cancer that afflicts people from the ages of 20 to 45. The American Cancer Society has now dropped the age of screening to from age 50 to age 45 for people of average risk. But there are people who are young people who may experience symptoms that should get screened and who don't. So it's very important that those people know and understand the serious nature of the symptoms of colorectal cancer.
Yeah, and what are those symptoms?
So it's very important. I'm so glad you asked.
Yeah.
So first and foremost, constipation, which is often goes unnoticed because who of us, aren't constipated? Another is diarrhea. Yeah. The opposite of constipation is diarrhea. Some bowel illnesses like irritable bowel syndrome, which again is misdiagnosed.
And common.
Very common. And is something that Rach was misdiagnosed with. Gas, bloating. If those types of symptoms go, if they're persistent, last a long time, you have to get to a doctor, particularly if you're young. The longer they persist, the more likely it is that the cancer is going to grow. It's going to be, your survival rate is going to go down if the polyps grow, if the tumors grow. So if you have those types of symptoms and they don't go away, you need to talk to your healthcare provider. If the provider doesn't do anything, for instance, doesn't get you to see a gastroenterologist, that's a specialist in the field of bowels. If they don't get you to see someone for a screening, then go find another doctor. Another push that we make is that you have to be your own best advocate. You need to argue for yourself. So find a doctor who will listen to your symptoms, who will take you seriously, and who will get you in for that screening. The colonoscopy is the gold standard of screenings. And Rach never had a colonoscopy. By the time they did an exam, her tumor was so large, her cancer was stage 4.
Oh my gosh.
So her survivability rate dropped down to 13%.
Wow.
She only lived for 3.5 years. So what we're trying to communicate to people, especially people who are ages 20 to 45. If you have these symptoms, find somebody who will listen to you, find the right doctor, get a screening, hopefully a colonoscopy, advocate for yourself, push for yourself, and like Rach said commonly, if you see something, say something. We have billboards all over town with her beautiful face on them and her words of wisdom. If you see something, say something.
I love that. Yeah, that's huge and very,
huge.
very important.
It is.
All right, so what's the mission of Live Like Rach Fund?
Well, it's to raise awareness, basically. It's to raise awareness of what the risks are, and the risks are significant.
Yeah.
So the longer that you go without being diagnosed, the lower your survivability rate is.
Okay.
So if you're diagnosed at stage 1 or stage 2, your survivability rate is higher. It's within the 75 to 90%.
Okay.
As the stage gets higher, like stage 3 or stage 4, then it drops to 13%,
Wow.
which is where Rach was.
Yeah.
So you can see how significant it is.
Yeah, absolutely.
So when those polyps are found early and they're small, they can be removed. So
Okay. Yeah.
very important that you get yourself to a doctor. And right now, young onset colorectal cancer is going to increase. By the year 2030, it's going to be the leading cause of colon cancer in this country.
Oh, wow. Okay.
By 2030, that's not very far away.
No, that is not at all. Yeah, so everyone.
Everybody pay attention.
Yeah.
Nobody likes to talk about your bowel movements or
Right.
poop,
Yep.
but pay attention to what's going on in your toilet.
Yeah, absolutely. And so where can people go to find more information?
Go to livelikerach.org. We are a fund that's associated with DMF. And as you're driving around town during the month of March, take a look at all of the billboards that we have out there. But preliminarily, information is available on livelikerach.org.
Yeah. All right. And
All right.
like Rach would say, if you see something, say something.
Absolutely.
All
Tell
right.
your parents, know your family history. If your family has a history of colon cancer, sit down and talk about it.
Absolutely.
Absolutely important.
Yes, and advocate for yourself. I love that one too.
Advocate for yourself.
All
Thanks,
right, well, thank you
Jillian.
so much for coming on and telling
You're
us
very
all about that.
welcome.
We have lots more coming up on today's show.